What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Leia. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for clicking on today's video. Now, today is currently Thursday, and yesterday I was sitting down on the couch thinking about, you know what? I love Q&As. I love watching Q&As on Instagram, like when people do Instagram lives, YouTube. And I realized that I have never done a Q&A or like get to know me, or if I have done a get to know me or an about me video, it's been a very, very long time, like probably years. And I know we have new faces here, so I just wanted to introduce myself again. My name is Leia. I am a flight attendant here in the United States. This month, March, I do meet my 8th year of flying at my current airline. Now, I have been flying more than that because I come from a regional airline, so I did fly about a year there. So I would say in total, like 9 years of flying. I started flying when I was, think about it. I'm 33, I'm gonna be 34. So if you count back 9 years, that puts me at like 24, I guess, 24 years old. I don't know. I'm gonna look so dumb if my math is off, but that's fine, y'all. I'm okay with looking dumb. That's why I'm a flight attendant. Okay, maybe I'll take that one out. I don't mean it because as flight attendants, we're dumb. I mean it more so like our job doesn't really, you don't have to think heavy in your brain to have our job. And that is one of like my cons and why sometimes a lot of people feel like the job doesn't stimulate your brain enough. Like you don't get that satisfaction. Like you don't have to like work hard towards something. Like it's very muscle memory and you do like the same thing day in and day out, just with different people in different cities type of thing. So that's what I mean by that. Anyways, moving on, I do also want to say that it is raining outside, so you may hear the rain. I live in California and we're kind of, today is day one of another big winter storm. I also want to say the lighting might be off because believe it or not, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, but we're going in and out of like light, sun, dark. So I feel like it looks a lot darker in the screen than it actually is. So that might be an issue too. I'm not sure. Hopefully the footage comes out okay. I'm also filming this on 4K on my big camera, so I hope you guys can see a difference in the quality. I do see a lot of things like flying in the air. I don't know if it's my microphone thingy or not. I'm not sure. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. I'm gonna stop rambling. I didn't receive a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna go over the ones that I did receive, and I will also mention some things about myself that I feel like I want to mention. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna try to answer these to the best of my ability. A lot of them, I feel like I don't have definite answers, but again, to the best of my ability, or to the most, especially when they're related to my job, to the most of what I can say, I guess. I asked on Instagram and I asked on YouTube. Again, I didn't really get many questions, which I didn't think I was gonna get many questions because I'm not a big channel, but here we are. So one of the first questions, I'm looking down on my phone, by the way, because I have them saved on my phone. When I fly, do my ears pop to the point where I can barely hear? So honestly, no. I feel like my ears never pop. I feel like if that happens, it's only if I'm sick or I'm getting an ear infection or sinus infection. That is all. On a regular, never. That never happens to me. Another question, when is our wedding day? Honestly, to be decided. I have no idea. I know we really want something either 2023 or early 2024. Please do watch our wedding videos. We state more like into detail about wedding stuff. But honestly, I don't know. I'm not really like a big wedding type of person, only because I've stated this before. I've never been the person that had a lot of friends and I don't really have a lot of family. So I see big weddings as like those sorority type girls who like just know endless people and like need to be center of attention. I actually don't really like being center of attention. I like to fade in the background. So I really just don't see myself having a big wedding because I don't really have a lot of people to invite. I know Andrew does. That's what makes it kind of hard for us. But in reality, for me, I don't like all the attention and I would love to just have something small, really, really small, like 20 people small, but I don't know. And that's kind of the indecisiveness because it's hard to put a deposit down on a venue when you're involving thousands and thousands of dollars. So yeah, in terms of wedding day, I don't know because we're still in the era of what we want to do. So I can't really answer that one. Another question was, what movie will you see in theaters next? And honestly, I'm not a big movie person. Like when I go to the movies and to the theaters, I'm like, why don't I do this more often? It's awesome. I feel relaxed, but I don't keep up with movies. I love now just watching them at home. I don't need to really see, like it has to be like something I really, really, really want to see to go to the theater. Like Avatar, I wanted to see that so bad and I did. The last movie I saw was the Magic Mike movie because I went on a girl's date with my girlfriend for Valentine's Day, like a Galentine's Day type of thing. But on the regular, yeah, I can't even think about like planning and looking forward to a movie. Like it has to be a top blockbuster hit, like a Marvel movie type thing. But honestly, I don't really know even what's coming in theaters. I can tell you I like comedy, I like romance, I like action, I like anything like Marvel, Harry Potter type stuff. I don't like suspense, I don't like horror. And Andrew's always trying to get me to watch those movies, but honestly, like, I don't need to be feeling that stuff in my brain. Like, I understand that it's fake, but I don't like that stuff. Yeah, so that's not for me. But for an actual movie, I have no idea even what's coming out, honestly, to be completely honest with that. By the way, guys, I didn't like rehearse my answers. I'm really trying to like think about it at the top of my head, like what comes to mind. I didn't really rehearse, so this is like kind of like me seeing them. Like, I kind of went through them a little bit, but like me like actually really answering them like live, I guess, even though I'm not live, but I should have probably did it live. I don't know. The next question, have you ever met a subscriber in person? And yes, I have. Most of them have been through flying, obviously, because I feel like the bulk of my subscribers are here because of my flying videos. Honestly, like you can just tell by the views. Anytime I would ever do like a makeup video or like these types of videos, I don't get as much views as a flying video. So I know most of the bulk of my subscribers are here for flight attendant stuff. I recently just met one at a work event and she's a brand new flight attendant and she came up to me and I just think that's like the coolest thing, honestly, because in reality, like I'm just a regular person, but I think it's cool like when you actually get to see a face. So if you guys ever do see me, please say hi. I absolutely think it's so cool. And for me, like I film these videos and I'm filming by myself usually, or like, you know, at work. So it's nice to actually see like, okay, who watches them? Or if you comment often, like I remember the people who comment often, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram. And when I actually get to meet you in person, like it'll stick with me. Like I'll remember who you are. So I think it's cool when you comment often and then I actually get to meet you in person. So I've met a couple of them, but most of them have been like other flight attendants for the most part. And yeah, that's really it. Just other flight attendants at the airports and stuff. Okay, next question. Would you consider switching airlines? Do you see yourself still being a flight attendant in the future? I actually love this question because I recently just got a comment from one of my older videos that stated something like, I've been watching a lot of your videos and I can tell that you're negative a lot and you don't really like your job and maybe you should quit or something like that. And I commented saying agree. And the reason I say that, and I could have elaborated way more, but why give my energy to that? Only because when I started this job, like 9 years ago when I started flying, I'm a whole different person now. I'm in my mid-30s. I have different goals. In your early 20s, like you're young, you're having fun, you want to travel. Honestly, I haven't even really done a lot of traveling because let's be real, like in the beginning, you're not making a lot of money. So yeah, you have the benefits, but you don't really have the income to travel. And then Andrew and I, like he's kind of like my life partner and I want to do a lot of things with him because again, I don't really have a lot of friends. He works a lot of hours and he's gotten like promotions and he's switched jobs where he's always like back on probation or have to go through another, like his promotion was like a year and a half, like his probation, I'm sorry. Like he got promoted and then his probation was like a year and a half. So it's not easy for him to just get up and travel with me. And I really don't have anybody else to travel with. I'm also not a person that wants to travel alone. I feel like I have unfinished business with this job. I want to hold on to it for as long as I can. Do I think I'll be here forever? I don't really think so because again, my heart is other places, even though I don't really know what that is. But I don't have a love for flying as I used to. Now, I'm not trying to be negative on my videos, guys, never. But I'm also just gonna be real. I know so many people like to just bring positivity to their channel, and I think that's great, you know? But for me, like, I just like to be real, honestly, because a lot of people I've noticed, they come applying to these jobs and they don't really know what it's about. And I just want to really tell you guys what it's about, so you're not like blindsided or you don't come in and then you fail. Plus, me having a headache, how is that negative? That's just how I feel. I don't understand how that's negative. Anyways, I will never switch airlines though. I will say that this is my last airline. I've said before, Delta Airlines was always my dream. I had interviewed once in Atlanta, and the second time I got a face-to-face going to Atlanta, but I never went. So technically I almost had 2 face-to-faces in Atlanta for Delta, but I ended up getting hired in my current airline, and I just didn't want to go through training again. At this point in my life, no, I cannot. I'm already 8 years in my company. I cannot start back on the bottom with seniority, with pay. It is what it is. I always say they're gonna have to fire me to let me go, or one day maybe I'll resign. I don't know. I feel like my next step is maybe starting a family soon. So my priorities are elsewhere. I've even reduced my flying a lot less, which you guys have noticed. I don't have a lot of flying videos anymore because I just can't fly as much as I used to. Not that my heart isn't in it. I definitely do enjoy when I go to new places or like somewhere fun. I love those. I just hate the routine flying. But I've stated again in my flight attendant vlogs that just commutable trips, there's just not as many. And most commutable trips are like Newark, JFK, and Boston. And IAD lately, which is Washington Dulles, kind of on the East Coast. So yeah, and those trips can kind of get boring. So if you want to do like the fun stuff, like all the Mexicos, Cancun, Hawaii, like all that stuff, those are like really early reports, which are very hard for me. Again, to go back, I'm trying to stay on track. Sorry, guys. Will I be switching airlines? No, I will not. And do I see myself as a flight attendant in the future? I'm gonna hold on as long as I can, and that's it. So this one was actually from a friend. Are your fur babies invited to your wedding? It's so funny because we actually, Andrew and I toured a wedding venue that allowed animals, and we actually loved that idea. It was an outdoor venue, and we loved the idea of them being able to be there. And it's like a closed outdoor venue, so like they can't just go running off. Like it's outdoors and it's closed off. And I just love the idea of them being there, especially if we do something that's away where we can't come and let them out. My dogs are senior dogs, and I don't even know if I feel comfortable like leaving them like in a kennel. And obviously most of the people that I know or I trust are going to be going to my wedding, so I wouldn't even know where to leave them. So yes, we have thought about bringing them, whether it's just leaving them at the hotel, but I'm worried that they will be like barking because they have like separation anxiety. So I don't know. I would love to, but I'm not sure. I guess it just depends like what we actually end up doing. So I don't know. All right, only a couple more questions and then I'll go into like an about me type thing. What is your most memorable experience at the job, whether it is while actually working or an exploration during a layover? This is so hard for me because I've been flying for a long time. I've had a lot of great experiences. When I think memorable, it could be good or bad, where like I've had nothing crazy where like someone died on my flight or anything like that. Like memorable medical experiences with like certain people that you'll never forget. The one thing that brings to my head is when we had this, I don't even know how to say it. Okay, so my mom was actually with me on this trip. It was a JFK to SFO, and he was foreign from Spain. He took like, I guess like he took like a Viagra or something because he was with his like lady friend the night before, and his thing just never went down, and it was just hard the whole flight. He was in extreme pain. Like, how do you not forget that type of experience? I don't know. And I just remember my mom was there and she helped like translate, because even though he spoke Spanish, Spanish from Spain and Spanish from Mexico are very different. And like my mom was able to like help translate. So I just remember that because my mom was with me, and like that's not something that you get on the regular, at least I feel. So I'll never forget that like medical experience. You're obviously always going to remember the times where you got to meet celebrities and stuff. I know for me, because I'm a makeup girly, I got to meet Norvina Claudia from Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you guys are makeup people, you know who she is. And she talked with me pretty much on our flight from like SF to LA. It was pretty awesome. I'll never forget that. Yeah, I don't know. I just certain celebrities, when you have them on your flight and when they're very kind and when you get to meet them, like Maxim from Dancing with the Stars, Max Chmerkovsky, the Russian dancer, Ukrainian dancer. He was awesome. He shared his grapes with me. He was it's very awesome. So those are always memorable to me when you get to meet great people. Layovers, when I think about layovers, I mean, I love my Disney World layovers when I get to bring Andrew, or when my sister has gotten to come with me Those are awesome to be able to go to the parks during actually when I'm supposed to be working, you know, like on a layover. I love those. Some of my early days Vegas layovers, we used to have very long Vegas layovers, which were very fun to go out in Vegas. I had a really, really fun night in New York one time where I got to go out and be like a local and go to like their clubs and stuff. And that was very, very memorable. I've had some amazing like dinners that are like, wow, this is delicious, like some food. And I've gotten to have like now my spots like in different cities, which you would never ever have that. But because a lot of times we go to these cities, you know, more than once, you start creating like your spots, like if you're a local. So to me, that's kind of cool, having like places that you love to eat at. I can't really think of, because again, I didn't rehearse this, like a super memorable. Those are like the only thing that tops my mind. I know something super memorable, but it didn't happen to me. That to me, if that would happen to me, I'd be like, whoa, those are super memorable. One crew had Post Malone on their flight and they ended up getting to party with Post Malone because Post Malone ended up inviting them to like his show that night. I think it was a Boston layover. And they ended up getting like picked, I think they got like picked up in a limo. They got to literally party with Post Malone, like in a limo with Post Malone, backstage with Post Malone. That to me is unforgettable. I would remember that for the rest of my life. Oh yeah, another one. Again, it didn't happen to me, but one of my coworkers had Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on their flight. To me, that would be absolutely memorable. I follow the royal family. I love Prince Harry. I love Meghan. I love, you know, Will and Kate. And that would be super memorable for me. So when I found out that she was the person who had them on her flight, I was like, wow, those to me would be like top of the list. But again, those never happened to me. I did have Matthew McConaughey though on my flight, but he was very like, the way you see him on screen is the way he is in person. So that's a hard one to answer because there's a lot of things that obviously stick out. I wouldn't say they're the most, I guess they are most memorable, but there's really nothing exciting about them. All right, so I guess I'll move along with that question. If I do find anything, because I feel like that's a question that you need to think about it a lot more, I will probably put it in the comments if again, something else comes to mind. But moving along, this one says, I am an M to F trans. Okay, so I think it's saying I'm a male to female trans. Do you know any flight attendant working that are? Is it allowed? Of course, honestly, our airline is super inclusive. I don't think I've met, no, I have, and I've worked with them. Yes, I have. There are several of them and they're awesome people. And yes, my airline, and I think all airlines, honestly, I can't speak for all airlines, but I know my airline, super inclusive. Of course it's allowed. Of course. Don't ever feel like it's not. Please apply if you want to be a flight attendant. And the last question that I got was, ¿Cuándo vas a Mexico? Which is like, when am I gonna go to Mexico? Honestly, I have no idea. I was never really raised going to Mexico. Like, it wasn't really a thing for us. So I don't know. Like, I know we have like extended family there, but I don't know. Other than just going on layovers, whether it's just like, you know, Cancun PVR, I really don't have any plans to go. I know there's places I'd like to go. I think certain places are beautiful. I just don't know why we don't go. I feel like there's other places on my list that I'd like to go first. So I'm not sure. Hopefully soon in the future, maybe Andrew and I can go. I'd love to go to his hometown. Andrew's family is from Guayalica? I think that's where his family's from. I know we've talked about going to see like his relatives and where his family's from, but we just haven't. I don't know why. All right, so now this is like a quick get to know me. I'm gonna kind of like speed through these as best as I can because I don't want this video being forever long. Okay, so again, my name is Leia. I'm 33 years old. I'm gonna be turning 34 this year. Andrew is my fiance. We've been in a 12-year relationship. This year is our 12th year. And a lot of people ask, oh, why aren't you married yet? Honestly, we've enjoyed our relationship. We were never in a hurry. We were never the people that like we wanted kids right away. We really wanted to travel and enjoy life and to get careers going, which we've done. And now we're like older. Andrew's 3 years older than me. And now we're like ready to maybe like move forward and like maybe starting a family. Honestly, I feel like even if we waited another 2-3 years, that would be okay too, honestly. We're still not really in a hurry. Whatever God wants us to have will happen. So that's that. Now I live in Fresno, California. So again, I'm a commuter. I'm a commuter by car, not by flight, because there is really not a lot of options here for flights that leave out of the Fresno airport, and if they are, they're like the 40 passenger plane, and I don't have much seniority or priority when it comes to getting on those planes. So I'm always on the bottom of the standby list, and that makes it hard to get on. So usually I'm driving. Now, some of the top places that I want to travel to, honestly, Europe. I told Andrew, instead of doing a massive wedding, I'd rather spend like 10,000 or less and then go to Europe for like 3 weeks. I really want to go to Europe with like not a lot of plans. Like, I don't mind like having an outline, like a rough draft, but I really just want to like go to like all those cities, especially like before we end up having a family. I really want to like go to London. I really want to see like, you know, Buckingham Palace, Kensington, Windsor, the Harry Potter tour. There's so many things that I want to do. I'd love to go to Paris. I would love to go to Disney Paris. Gosh, there's so many places in Europe, like Spain, Madrid, Barcelona, the south of France, the south of Italy. Those are all like top for me. Being a flight attendant was a dream for me, and I feel like I accomplished that dream. Again, this goes with the question earlier. I don't know if I'll be here forever. Maybe I will, because years feel like days. So maybe I will be here a lot longer. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure. Sky's the limit. Only God knows. So who knows? It definitely is a hard job to leave, though. I will say that. It's hard to give up the benefits, and it's hard to give up how much you've worked for. Anyone who's been with a company for so long, you know how long it takes to build seniority, and you know how long it took to get where you are now. So it's very hard to give that up. So that's kind of like where I'm at sometimes. You guys know I'm a huge Disney fan. I love Disneyland. I love Disney World. Epcot is like my favorite park at Disney World. I love the whole like chill vibes, the drinking around the world, the food, all the food there, all the restaurants. I tell Andrew I want him to take me to Le Cellier and Epcot. I want him to take me to Chef de France and Epcot. I mean, there's just so many places. Like, I love Disney World. I'd even love to do that, even like, not really like a honeymoon, but just to like go for a couple days before we go on our honeymoon. I love Disney so much. I love Animal Kingdom. I know a lot of people think it's a glorified zoo, but honestly, I love, especially if you watch the National Geographic show on Disney Plus, you'll see like how they care for their animals, and I think it's beautiful. It's not like an actual zoo. Like, they truly care for their animals, and they do a lot of like work to like get animals back in the wild, conservation work. I think that's what it's called. So I don't know. I love Animal Kingdom. I think it's a very different park than what most people are used to, and they also have a lot of great food there and great entertainment. I don't know, I think it's a great park. Fantasmic is my favorite Disney show at night. The Fantasmic, I've never seen the one in Florida. I've only seen the one here at Disneyland. I absolutely love Fantasmic, and that's why Sorcerer Mickey is my favorite, because Mickey Fantasmic at the end, when he's in his sorcerer outfit, just because I love the show, Sorcerer Mickey is my number one. That's why he is on my phone. Sorcerer Mickey, he's number one. Love him. My favorite ride, honestly, I feel like is like Rise of the Resistance. To me, that ride is amazing. I love that ride. I'm so excited every time I get to go on it. I love that ride. I did love Cosmic Rewind. It was so good, but I feel like I could ride Rise of the Resistance way more than Cosmic Rewind, because Cosmic Rewind would kind of like throw you out of loop a little bit. And I can't wait to get more songs for Cosmic Rewind. We only got Disco Inferno. I really want more songs. And then Happily Ever After is my favorite fireworks show, which is at Magic Kingdom in Disney World. I haven't seen Wondrous Journey yet here at Disneyland, but I cannot wait to see it. But I love Happily Ever After. And I've loved every Epcot show I've seen. Harmonious was amazing. We absolutely loved it. Illuminations was awesome too. And I'm so excited for Epcot Forever to come back, because I've never seen it. And everyone says it's amazing. So I'm super excited to finally get to see that. My favorite Disney princess is Belle. She's like my classic favorite. I just love how she's not into looks. She's into what's inside in your heart. And that's why she fell in love with the Beast, because obviously he's a beast. He's not cute. I love how she's super smart. You know, she's always reading. I love how she's a good sense of character, like judge a character. Obviously, Gaston is like this, you know, and she knows that. I love how great she is with her father, and how loving, and like she's a diehard. I don't know. I love all that. Newer, I love Encanto. I love the soundtrack to it. That's one of my like newer Disney movies that I love. I also love Frozen too, because it is the story of two sisters, which I only have me and my sister, so it kind of reminds me of that. And again, I love the soundtrack to both Frozen 1 and 2. So those are like my newer Disney loves. In terms of like movies and shows, honestly, I watch a lot of YouTube. I do love like The Mandalorian. There's a lot of Netflix shows like Bridgerton. I love that show. What else? I mean, there's so many shows that I absolutely love and I'm waiting for like new seasons to premiere. Anything comedy, like I said, comedy or romance, love that kind of stuff. But YouTube honestly is what I watch the most. I love Disney vloggers, beauty vloggers, lifestyle vloggers, even techie stuff. So I'm always learning new stuff about my camera, about editing. I love all that stuff. So I'm constantly watching YouTube. One of the things when I'm home, honestly, I love peace. If I'm home, I don't mind socializing for a day. And then the whole other 5-6 days, I love my peace. I love to be alone. Honestly, being here on my vanity is my favorite thing because I love playing with makeup. Absolutely my favorite thing ever is playing with makeup. I love grocery shopping because I love to cook, but being in the grocery stores, honestly, I love it. I love finding new things. I love going to like Trader Joe's. I love shopping at Costco, our Winco nearby because it's honestly like one of the cheaper options. Like I love grocery shopping like so much. And I love walking my dogs. They love it too. And it's honestly great to like go feel some fresh air and go like clear your mind. If you ever have a lot going on in your head, get outside, get some fresh air. Going for a walk with your dogs is like top tier. I love doing that. And I love spending time with them because obviously they're my babies and I love them. Okay, so I am not a mountain person. I'm way more of a beach person than I will ever be a mountain person. The mountains are beautiful, but for some reason, I get so sick every time. I always get a headache. Andrew and I used to do hikes a lot. It's like every time I noticed I would come down, I'd get a headache. So I much more rather go to the beach than the mountains, only because I get a headache and no one wants that. And honestly, some of my future life goals are just to be financially free. I mean, who doesn't want that? I want the financial freedom to be able to travel. Those are like some of my like hopefully sooner rather than later goals. And I just want to be happy and I don't want to have anxiety. You guys know I've talked about having anxiety a lot, which also is probably why I don't fly as much as I used to. I started growing anxiety being away from home, being away from my dogs, being away from Andrew, being long distance, like a whole flight away. I just want to be anxiety free. I want to be at peace. That's why I've pulled back a lot in my life. I've become more of a homebody. I don't hang out as much as I used to. And I feel like sometimes people, maybe even family, probably think that I'm being rude. In reality, I have to take care of my own mental health and my anxiety. And the only way I can do that is being fully at peace and being calm, and being home gives me that. And yeah, those are just some of my goals, and hopefully start a family soon and just be happy. Honestly, that's all we want in life, right? Is just to be happy. Anyways, y'all, that does end this video. Thank you for sticking around. I know I said I didn't want it to be long, but I love to talk, so it might even be 30 minutes. I have no idea. But if you made it to this point, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to give the video a like, do share it, do refer people to my channel if they are future flight attendants or whatever, or DM me on Instagram. This is my Instagram name, guys. Please follow me on Instagram if you are not. I'm very active. If you DM me, I'll DM you back within a couple of hours. I check it quite frequently, at least my messages. And if you do have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments below and I will answer them. I'm pretty good at responding to all my comments. So yeah, if you want to know something and you didn't see my notifications that I was doing a Q&A and you still want to ask me something, please again, do drop them in the comments below and I will answer them. So thank you guys again for sticking around on this long video, which I'm sure it's long. And I love you guys so much. TTYL. See you guys later. Bye.